Hey everyone, welcome to English Learning Journey, the podcast that helps you learn, improve, and master English in a fun and easy way. I'm Jake, your host, and today we've got a special episode with my good friend Emma, who's here to help us tackle one of the biggest challenges many English learners face: speaking confidently without fear. If you've ever felt nervous or anxious when speaking English, don't worry, you're not alone. A lot of people struggle with self-doubt and fear when they have to speak in a second language. But today, we're going to share practical tips that will help you speak with confidence and ease, so you can have meaningful conversations without feeling scared. So, grab a cup of coffee, get comfortable, and let's dive into it.
Hi everyone, I'm Emma and I'm so excited to be here with Jake today. We're going to share some amazing tips with you to help overcome that fear and boost your confidence when speaking English. Let's get started. Part 1. The fear of making mistakes. Why it happens.
Let's start by talking about why you might feel fearful when speaking English. Most learners fear making mistakes in grammar, pronunciation, or vocabulary. You might worry about sounding dumb or that others will judge you. But here's the truth. Every learner makes mistakes, and that's okay. In fact, mistakes are an essential part of learning a language. Think about it. When babies learn to speak, they make mistakes all the time. But do they give up? No. They keep practicing until they get it right.
Exactly. And we both make mistakes too. It's all part of the process. The important thing is not to let fear stop you from speaking. Instead, focus on the message you want to communicate.
Right. Think about it like this. Language is about communication, not perfection. So even if you make a mistake, you're still achieving the goal of communicating. But when you stop speaking because of fear, you lose the chance to improve.
And honestly, people will often appreciate the effort to speak in a second language more than they'll notice any mistakes. They understand that you're learning.
Exactly. People are often very forgiving when you make a mistake, so don't worry about what others might think. Remember, making a mistake means you're trying, and that's the most important thing. Part 2. Tip number 1. Shift your focus. Perfection isn't the goal. Now let's talk about how we can overcome this fear. The first tip I want to give you is to shift your focus from perfection to progress. Many learners get stuck because they want to speak perfectly right away. But the truth is, perfection doesn't exist. English is a living language, and even native speakers make mistakes.
Right. Instead of trying to speak perfectly, focus on communicating clearly. If the other person understands you, you're on the right track. And remember, a little mistake here and there is totally fine.
Here's a quick example. If I say, "She no go to school today," you can tell there's a mistake. But do you understand what I'm trying to say? Of course. Now, if I said, "She don't go to school today," it's still incorrect, but you still know what I mean. Does it matter that much? Not really. What matters is that you can communicate clearly.
Exactly. The focus should always be on getting the message across. Even small mistakes shouldn't make you anxious. Just keep practicing and you'll gradually improve.
Let's move on to tip number 2. Practice speaking every day. If you only speak English once a week or when you have an exam, it's no wonder you feel nervous. The best way to build confidence is to practice consistently. The more you practice, the easier it will become.
Exactly. And the good news is, you don't need long conversations every day. Even just 10 to 15 minutes will make a huge difference. Some great ways to practice are talking to yourself. Describe what you're doing in English. Shadowing. Listen to a short video and repeat what the speaker says. Find a speaking partner. If possible, chat with a friend or tutor. Just speak as much as you can.
And it doesn't matter if it's a perfect conversation or not. What matters is consistency. When you practice every day, you start to feel more comfortable, and over time, your fear decreases.
Think of it like exercise. You wouldn't expect to get fit by working out once a month, right? You need to practice regularly to see the improvements.
Tip number 3. Embrace silence and take your time. A lot of learners rush when they speak because they're nervous. But you don't have to rush. Native speakers pause all the time. They take a breath, gather their thoughts, and then continue speaking.
And it's totally okay to pause while speaking. Think of it as a moment to collect your thoughts. It makes you sound more calm and confident when you take your time.
Absolutely. It's much better to take a pause and say something correctly than rush and make mistakes. If you need a moment to think, don't be afraid of it. A slight pause is totally normal in conversations.
Yeah, in fact, when we're in deep conversations, even native speakers take time to think before responding. So don't feel pressured to speak immediately. Just take a breath, think about what you want to say, and then say it confidently.
Finally, let's talk about tip number 4. Positive self-talk and visualization. How you talk to yourself has a huge effect on your confidence. If you tell yourself, "I'm not good at English," your fear will only grow. But if you say, "I can do this," your confidence will skyrocket.
Right, before you speak, tell yourself, I am confident and I can do this. Making mistakes is part of learning.
And try visualization. Imagine yourself speaking confidently in English. Picture the conversation going well, and see yourself handling the situation with ease. It really helps reduce anxiety.
One fun thing I like to do is visualize a successful conversation. Then say out loud, I am confident, I can do this. It's like preparing your mind for success.
So there you have it. We've talked about how to overcome fear and speak confidently in English. Remember, 1. Shift your focus from perfection to progress. 2. Practice speaking every day. 3. Embrace pauses and take your time. 4. Use positive self-talk and visualization.
If you enjoyed this episode, leave a comment below and let us know. What's the biggest fear you face when speaking English? We'd love to hear from you.
Don't forget to like this episode, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss an update from English Learning Journey. Thanks for tuning in, and keep practicing. Confidence is just a step away.